beautiful souls. I am Pauline Marie, and welcome to Cosmic Currents. This is a space for energetic tune-ups. This channel is about remembering who you are beneath the noise so that you can flow through life with clarity, meaning, and alignment. So each week we explore a fresh cosmic download from my spirit team by weaving archetypes, animal wisdom, and the Sabian symbols as well as your own inner knowing. And we'll playfully explore both the light and the shadow and deepen our understanding as a collective for navigating these new frequencies that are coming through our planetary alignments. Before we talk about this guiding energy, I wanted to express that this week's Cosmic Current is really the foundation of this channel and why I started this channel. So I hope you stay till the end as this transmission arrives through this expansive and truth-seeking energy of the full moon in Sagittarius. And it's at 9 to 10 degrees. And that Sabian symbol is the golden-haired goddess of opportunity. So this full moon arrives on May 31st, 2026. And this lunation is directly opposing the sun in Gemini, and it forms a friction-filled quincux with Mars in Taurus, and that's signaling a potent period of truth-seeking, decision-making, and unexpected perspective shifts. Very cool. So let's get into this. Let's first explore this golden-haired goddess of opportunity. What is this frequency saying? Well, at first glance, this symbol may appear to speak of success, recognition, external achievement, yet it's a deeper message, and it's revealing something much more profound. It's an opportunity not simply about framing or framing your success in terms of fame or fortune or public approval, but it's about cultivating enthusiasm. And it's not enthusiasm that's attached to outcomes, but enthusiasm itself as a living force. So the glamour of success can tempt us into believing that fulfillment comes from what we receive, whether that's attention or validation or status or achievement or financial success. Yet this symbol asks a very different question. And that's what leads us into this week's Cosmic Current, which is channel inspiration without wanting anything from it. So the download I received this week. As you move through this week, we are invited to remember that inspiration was never meant to be something we chase or force. We are reminded that not every opportunity arrives as success, recognition, or achievement. Sometimes opportunity arrives as a feeling, a quiet whisper, an idea, a curiosity, or a spark in the heart, and asks simply to be followed. Inspiration does not ask for guarantees. It does not ask for proof. It asks only for your presence. So this is to release the need to know where it's leading and release the pressure to turn every gift into an outcome. Allow yourself to create, to dream, to explore, and to become enchanted by life again. Because when inspiration moves through us without attachment, something extraordinary happens. We stop chasing abundance and begin realizing that abundance is already flowing through us all along. This is because inspiration itself is the gift. So, can we become inspired simply because inspiration itself is sacred? Can we create, explore, dream, and express without needing applause at the end? So these are some of the bigger questions to be explored. And when I pulled some archetypes for this, we have out three. We first have out the hunter. The hunter is like the seeker and the pursuer. So, right? It's pursuing something through this inspiration. The hunter arrives first asking 3 important questions. What am I hunting? Why am I hunting it? And is the weapon I hold so tightly actually necessary? So the hunter's journey is far and wide. It's expansive in terms of the pursuit of something meaningful. Yet under this full moon in Sagittarius, we're invited to examine whether we're seeking inspiration itself or whether we're seeking what inspiration might give us. So if we are in this archetype, the hunter, in its light aspect, we're focused, we're energized, we're respectful, and we're seasoned in this. We become kind of masterful. If we're expressing in our shadow aspect, we can be forceful, preachy, kind of irresponsible, or attached to these specific outcomes. So how does this play in with the Sabian symbol as the golden-haired goddess, right? She's reminding us that the magic was never only at the destination. It's been the journey. It's always the journey. It's always been the journey. So like this great hunting goddess, Artemis, which is a great example since we just had a space mission named after Artemis. Artemis was carrying her quiver upon her back. So it's inviting us to seek not from hunger or desperation, but from a reverence. We're asked to pursue what awakens our spirit rather than what feeds our ego. So again, the adventure itself becomes the inspiration. And I also pulled the archetype of the heart. This is the throne or the home or that sacred center, right? Our heart is our reminder that beneath all of life's tangles and knots, there exists a sacred center waiting for our return. And the heart asks us to move beyond those external expectations, that move beyond the performance, move beyond proving ourselves, move beyond seeking validation. And when we're in our light aspect in our hearts, we have clarity, we have gentleness, we have expansion, and we have wisdom. And in its shadow, it will reveal betrayal or entanglement or emotional confusion. And this can come about when we disconnect from the heart. And that's where, if we're disconnected from the heart, inspiration kind of is transactional, right? So we begin asking things like, if we're in transactional energy, it's like, what will I receive? Will this make me successful? Or will this finally bring abundance? So true inspiration, though, does not bargain. True inspiration wouldn't ask for those things. It'll flow. And it flows often when, at least I have found in my experience, when I reconnect through nature or music or movement or animals or children or just my own stillness. So the full moon here, again, is to remind us that this inspiration arises naturally. And it does that when we return to the heart. And then we had out the archetype of the queen. And she's the sovereign, right? The empress or the mother. And she sits perfectly beside the Sabian symbol, actually, because she understands that power doesn't come from grasping. The true queen has learned that it comes from trust. So the queen either rules with grace and upliftment or casts shadows through vanity and control. So if we are in our light aspect, in our divine feminine energy, our sovereign queen energy, we have grace and resolve and courage and deep trust. And if we're expressing in the shadow aspect of the queen, We may feel self-righteous. We may express in vanity, or we may demand energy, or we're demanding that return, right? So the sovereign queen does not chase opportunity. She creates a field where opportunity naturally arrives. This is where I like to say we really don't manifest. Manifest isn't truly real in our reality, but we do magnetize, right, through our divine feminine balance energy. So the queen here, she understands that inspiration, it can't be forced. It's received. And so she waits for grace to move through her rather than demanding a specific result. So beautiful. And we have some animal spirit guidance here. We have, first out, we have the shark, which the shark appears as a direct truth. And it does mirror beautifully with what the moon, the full moon in Sagittarius, is here for, is to reveal truth and to reveal our true desires. And that shark energy, it can become dangerous only if we ignore it. So we never want to ignore that shark energy. And the full moon can reveal the hidden motivations beneath our inspiration. But that's beautiful. We want to have that shark present to reveal that. That's the only way that we're going to be able to transmute the energy. So the shark asks for radical honesty. It asks that we don't judge ourselves, that we don't shame ourselves. It just wants us to reveal truth. And when this shark energy is balanced, that's when we become magnetic. That's when our energy is captivating, and that's when our energy is honest. So we do want that shark present, but we want it in a balanced way. Otherwise, if it's out of balance, we want to be careful, because that's where we can get that sneaky energy that comes in, or that trickster energy, or that destructive energy, or avoidant energy. So a good shark medicine is speak what is true and what is true for you. Next, we have out the earthworm. And the earthworm is about trusting your inner vision. This energy appears when we hesitate to share our gifts. And so perhaps the inspiration we're channeling feels too small, or perhaps someone else seems wiser or more experienced with this energy that you're channeling. But every master once was a beginner, so always remember that. And I always find, certainly in my journey and in spiritual context, that the beginner's mind is what they speak of as really is the best energy to embody, and certainly is in then receiving inspiration and your own truth. So we want this balanced earthworm energy where it's intelligent and valuable and earnest, and otherwise if it's out of balance, we're too self-conscious, and then we're apprehensive, right? And so then we can't really channel that true inspiration. The medicine here, I guess, would be, risk being seen. And your voice does not need permission to exist. All right. And lastly, we have out the hummingbird energy that wanted to come and be present here. And this is about following the nectar, if you will. The hummingbird brings that joy and that spiritual nourishment. It knows exactly where to return for life force. It's a medicine in itself, and it reminds us to return to what fills our heart, to return to what creates wonder, to return to creativity, to nature, to play. And that balanced hummingbird energy is curious, it's joyful and resourceful. And if it's out of balance, we can be pushy or sharp or restless. So we want to commit to learning something new. That's the medicine of the hummingbird. So I wanted to channel this current also through the octaves, the fifth dimension, the 5D. Octave 7 is what I call the sacred yes. So this is the realm of living light. It's coherent love. It's creative intelligence. This is the field where inspiration no longer comes from striving or effort, but emerges as a natural state of being. In this octave, love flows without depletion because it's not dependent on outcomes or conditions. And inner and outer realities begin harmonizing, and separation starts to dissolve into resonance. And this directly reflects the essence of our current that we're in, to channel our inspiration without wanting anything from it, because we're being invited beyond the old patterns of creating in order to receive something back. So instead, we're entering a state as a collective energy where the heart itself becomes a living temple, where creativity becomes the prayer, where devotion is expressed simply through alignment with what is true. So the sacred yes is not saying yes to everything or to every opportunity outside of ourselves, but it is saying yes to the life force that's moving through you. It's saying yes to the inspiration before you even know where it will lead you. Okay, and it's trusting that what arises naturally from the heart carries its own intelligence, its own timing, and its own abundance. So the golden-haired goddess of opportunity, she's not standing before us holding trophies. She's holding possibility. And she whispers, do not create for applause. Do not seek inspiration for reward. Allow inspiration to move through you because life itself longs to express itself through you. Beautiful. So when inspiration flows without attachment, we enter that field of living light. That's where love becomes a natural state. Creativity becomes the prayer, and the heart becomes the temple. So I invite you to this week, just channel what calls to you. Write, dance, learn, sing, create, dream, explore. Not because of where it will take you, but just because something beautiful is already moving through you. So my closing blessing for you today is, may your heart remember the sacred nectar that has always lived within you. And may you trust the opportunities arriving not as promises of success, but as invitations into deeper expression. And may your inspiration flow freely, without grasping, without force, and without expectation. And may you discover that what you have been seeking has quietly been seeking you all along. So I thank you so much for being here. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the message here today, was that my entire inspiration from this channel was I'm not seeking anything from it other than to put out my message, this message, these messages that may inspire you. And I don't want anything from it other than may you find some of your own channeled inspiration in moving forward. And I'm sending so much love